Okay, so just to review what I did so far for the final product, I talked through what the business plan introduction should be like. It's pretty direct and straightforward. I talked through fixed cost and I talked through variable cost, and I left off at number 4. So revenues, that's going to be the way that you make the money from your guests. So it's how much money you're going to bring in. Remember, profit is how much money you make after you make up for all the costs that you spent money on. So basically, profit equals revenues minus cost. But we're not talking about profit right now. We're just talking about revenue. So how you will make money off this event. So there's a couple examples right here. And then just taking consideration, if up here you're going to be going out to Costco or wherever, ordering on Amazon, if you're going to be buying food and drink, you obviously would want to sell those items. So notice how I have Gatorade and Takis up here. It would be foolish for me not to put that as revenue, because if I go ahead and expect to spend money on those two things, then I should be expecting to earn money off of selling those things. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this example. And straight off the bat, this part's pretty easy because you can just copy this expense right here. So category is still drink. The revenue item is Gatorade. The revenue item here is Takis. And you don't have to copy and paste the hyperlink, but that's easy. The category is drink, and this is food. Okay, so this is where you get to inflate your prices. We talked about this in class. If you go out and buy, let's say, Gatorade, and you go to the gas station, you buy Gatorade for example, 50 cents, and you want to make money off of it, you would sell it to your friend for more than 50 cents, and that's how you make a profit. So what we're going to do is we get to decide how much we want to sell the item for. Within reason. Don't charge $10 for a bottle of Gatorade because that's not feasible. And we talked about feasibility on checkpoint 2. So if I'm going to spend 50 cents getting one bottle of Gatorade for my guest, I'm going to charge that guest, I don't know, let's do $1. Let's just charge the guest 200% of that. So I'm going to charge $1 for a bottle of Gatorade. And then, and if I want to clarify here, I can say one bottle, right? Or I could even say like, I can get really specific and precise. Actually, I appreciate that. If for Gatorade, we can say, how much was it? It was 20-ounce bottle. Like, this is where that cog skill of precision comes into play. Push yourself to be as precise and detailed as possible. So I'm going to say 1 20-ounce bottle of Gatorade. That's really cool and specific. I mean, it's cool that you're being specific because, again, you want to be as detailed so you know exactly where your expenses are coming from and how you're making money. So 1 20-ounce bottle of Gatorade, I'm going to sell it for $1. Takis, remember up here, it's going to cost us, or it's going to cost me, 68 cents for each bag of Takis. I'm going to go ahead and raise the price for my revenue, and I'm going to say I'm just going to make this up, 75 cents per bag. So this is a $1 for a bottle. This is 75 cents per bag. And again, I can say 1 bag of Takis to be super precise. I think they were mini bags. Okay, 1 mini bag of Takis. Again, I'm doing this as an abridged final event plan. This is shortened because I don't have all the time in the world, but you should be going a little bit more elaborate than I'm going with your part 2, part 3, part 4, and even the whole document as I go through more examples of parts. So the last thing, with that being said, I want to make sure I'm making money off my tickets. So maybe I'll call this category admission. The category isn't terribly important. It's just a cool way to organize your work. Yeah, and by the way, if you want to change this table, if you want a color code, whatever you want, change the font, feel free. As easy as it is to read, as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Hey, I'm the one grading it. I have to look at 100 of these, so entertain me with your aesthetics, please. All right, so we want to go ahead and say tickets. I know it's going to sound weird because I said I'm throwing a going away party. So it's weird to have like tickets. So maybe if you're doing like a quince or a wedding or some sort of party, maybe we don't call them tickets. Maybe we call them, I don't know, like guest 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 contribution. How about that? I like that because each guest is contributing. Pretend it's like a party. Again, it's my friend's party, and everyone that's going to come is going to contribute a certain amount of money to this party. Even though it's weird that I'm going to like sell food, I don't know. You can justify this, and this is where you explain your event. Try to be as realistic as possible. So again, if you're having like a quince or a wedding or a party, why don't you call it a guest contribution? That way you don't have to call it a ticket. And I can call this guest services, and this will be my revenue item will be guest contribution. There we go. And let's say I expect every single guest to chip in $20. All right, so here's how I'm making money for the event. I'm going to assume everyone's buying a bottle of Gatorade, a bag of Takis, and they're going to also contribute $20. So that just means I expect each guest to end up spending $21.75. All right, that's pretty much all you need to put in that box. If you want to go ahead and show your work that you're adding, that would be great. But I'm fine if you just write the total. And again, just keep in mind, like if you're not using these rows, please delete them. You don't need them if you're not going to fill them in. All right, you can even get rid of this little comment. Okay, clean it up, please. Letter B, what assumptions did I make? I assumed that everyone was going to buy a food and drink item as well as chip in $20 for the party. Okay, so again, this is super simple, straightforward, but let's go down to number 5. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. All right, so again, I'm going very basic here. You need to go a little bit more than basic for your project. I cannot stress that enough. So for number 5, we're going to go ahead and write our total cost equation. So just keep in mind, the cost equation is just your rate of change. So it's like your cost per guest. So your slope times number of guests. Your slope is like your variable cost per person. So y equals mx plus b. It's the same thing as saying y equals variable cost per person, variable cost, times x plus your fixed cost. Okay, so if that helps you, that's all you're filling in. Your slope, again, is going to change. It's the rate of change. So every time another guest says, hey, I'm going to come, you go out and you buy a Gatorade bottle and Takis. So remember, Gatorade bottle plus Takis was $1.18. So it's 1.18x. Let's get rid of these parentheses. Okay. Plus your fixed cost. Well, your fixed cost was however much it costs for the venue and the decorations. So that was $515. Notice how I'm not using dollar signs, or I don't have to write 515.00. I can just write 515 in my equation. So don't use dollar signs. That's not necessary, because we should know when you graph and you explain your project that this is in the unit is money. So you don't need to write a dollar sign. We're talking about money. Revenue is just going to be how much I expect to make per person. So that's right here, $21.75. 21.75. Now what am I missing? If you said X, you are correct. Make sure it's 21.75x because that's how much you expect to make off of each person. So X amount of guests. All right, we can get rid of this. All right. Again, if you want to color code, make it look fancier, be my guest. Now I'm going to skip past the solution to the system because again, this is a system. Why is it a system? Because it is two linear equations. So when we graph them, we would presumably they would intersect for this project. If they don't intersect, then you and I can talk and we can make some adjustments, but they should intersect because that's the break-even point. So we're not going to go ahead and solve this algebraically in this screencast. I'm not going to show that to you because we've been working on it so much in Unit 4, and I can help you in class. But I'm going to just show you how you would do it graphically in Desmos. So you just go to desmos.com, and you want to just take your two equations. You can copy and paste it in. Here's the first equation, and here's my second equation. And most of you did a good job on this on the checkpoint 2, if you got this far. So you see how I only see a blue line? My goodness, I'm like super zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, even with regular zoomage, 100%, I still don't see that red line. But you notice how my y-intercept is 515, and I'm only up to 8 right here on the y-axis. So I'm going to zoom out. Zoom out, and then you'll see that other line. Now, a lot of people will be like, "Ooh, I hate reading that. Like, that's super annoying to read because, like, that scale is weird and the axes are labeled. They're jumping up by hundreds." So what you can do is make adjustments in the toolbar setting. And I know you can't see that. Let me shift over. Okay, so you see this little wrench? Click the wrench. And for my x-axis, that's people. Well, I can't have less or fewer than 0 people. I'm going to make the minimum -1 because I want a little bit of a margin. And then for people, well, it's a going away party. I probably won't have more than like, I don't know, 100 people. Let's let's go to 150. Okay, I'm just playing around here. And then my y, remember that's money spent and money made, or money earned, I guess. So I'm going to go to -1 again because you can't have fewer than $0, but I want a margin. And my y value, let's do, I don't know, $2,000. Okay, you don't have to do that exactly, but I just wanted to show you that you can adjust your axes. Now, that is a crazy break-even point, but unfortunately, if someone looks at this, they have no idea what that means because we did not label our axes. Very few of you remember to do this in checkpoint 2. That's okay because we didn't really explicitly teach it, and I understand that it's easy to forget, but please don't forget for your final product. Click the wrench and label your x-axis, number of people, and then your y-axis, money, or something along those lines. So again, now we have our x and y axis. And then you're going to go ahead and do a screenshot. Please do a screenshot of, this is going to look weird because I'm filming, but do a screenshot of the graph. Okay, I'm going to like take a picture of myself. Hello. But do a screenshot of not only the graph, but the two equations on the side. And now I'm going to paste my screenshot right here. Okay, and I only have like 30 more seconds in this video, but I'm going to stop there, and we'll talk about number 6B and 7 in class on the second day I see you this week. Okay, again, when I say this week, I mean the week of March 19th, because today is Monday, March 19th. So that is some clarification on how to do this. Hopefully that was helpful. And please let me know if you have any questions in class. Keep working hard, and thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Bye-bye.